and welcome to Bronze Age Monsters, the show where we wade into the weirdest and wildest waters of the comic books of the 1970s. This season on BAM, we talked about a Bronze Age buffet of short-lived books with supernatural heroes, featuring Encanto the Living Mummy, Brother Voodoo, It the Living Colossus, the Golem, the Scarecrow, and Modred the Mystic. But now, we've come to the end of this chapter of BAM's story. As we do with all seasons of the show, we'll be giving the season a proper send-off with one of our famous black tie finales, where we review our favorite moments and aspects of the comics we covered throughout the season. Even more importantly, we get to hear from you folks in the audience. We'll be drawing your ballots live and sharing your top 3 choices of various categories. Those whose ballots are randomly selected will win fabulous prizes. We might even post a link during the live stream for any guests who want to call in and say hello during the show. Jacob made voting much easier this season with a Google form that makes voting super simple and easier than ever before. You can find a link to the ballot in the show notes for this episode and in the link tree in the bios of our social media accounts. Make sure to vote before the finale. The season finale will be Friday, May 3rd at 6 p.m. Pacific Time on YouTube. There's a link in the show notes. We encourage you to click on that link, which takes you to our YouTube Bronze Age Monsters page. Then click on the Live tab. You'll see a placeholder there for the finale. Click on Notify Me. That way you'll be reminded. Alright, so next week, we'll be releasing the Satana audio drama, A Fire in Hell. It was written by Jerry Conway. It's a full audio production with some voice acting and some new music, and we think you're going to love it. But this week, we have a treat for you. We would like to present the first episode of the new podcast, Swords and Scrolls, by a friend of the show, Jared Savitas. On Swords and Scrolls, Jared will be reviewing all manner of heroic fantasy and high adventure, and I'm excited to go along on this journey with him. And I think you folks out in podcast land will be too. So have a listen to the short mission statement for the show. Then subscribe to Swords and Scrolls in your podcast app of choice, and give the show a follow on Instagram. Before I go, don't forget to fill out those BAM ballots. Mark your calendars for May 3rd at 6 p.m. Pacific Time, and, as always, stay bronze, pony boy. Stay bronze.
Ho there, and welcome to the Swords and Scrolls podcast. I'm your guide, Jared Savitas. Hey, thank you for giving this quick listen. I wanted to take a few minutes here to explain to you, give you my backstory of my fandom of the genre of heroic fantasy and high adventure. So at the age of 6, my family went out and saw Star Wars, and I fell asleep. But that very same year, we went and saw Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger, and I was ensorcelled by that movie. It sparked a flame for adventure, high fantasy, monsters, swords, and sorcery. And that flame grew into a roaring fire, fed by cartoons like Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle, and my personal favorite, the best cartoon of all time, Thundar the Barbarian. Shortly after, comic books arrived in my life, and I was immediately drawn to Conan the Barbarian, Cole the Destroyer, Khazar the Savage, Red Sonja, She-Devil with a Sword, Elf Quest, and Auric, Son of Thunder. superheroes held mild interest for me. But I became obsessed with these comics. And upon discovery of the black and white magazines, like Savage Tales, Conan the Barbarians, and Savage Sword of Conan, graphic storytelling became my drug of choice. I am still chasing that dragon to this day. Dungeons and Dragons, as well as the fighting fantasy game books by Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone, sealed my fate. Now that there is the origin story, simply and directly. Now what can you expect from this podcast? Now each episode, I will be inviting a guest to discuss comics, movies, and more, which made me into the monster that I am today. The main focus being the comics of the 70s and 80s. But I'm not going to restrain myself from recent and modern entries into the genre either. But together, we will learn the guest's origin and relationship with heroic fantasy, if they have a relationship at all. And we're going to have a damn fine time doing it. I've plotted some extra features, such as Swords and Supers, where we will discuss comics involving where fantasy and superheroes collide. For example, when the wizard Kulan Gath transformed Manhattan into a likeness of his own time in the pages of the Uncanny X-Men. The show will have an irregular schedule as we get our bearings here in the Land of Scrolls. But I ask for your understanding and patience as we grow from humble beginnings into a full-fledged hero. Believe me when I tell you, great adventures await you, should you accept this quest. I want to take a minute to get a couple thank yous out. First off, I want to thank Joe and Matt over at the Two-Headed Nerd podcast. Those guys offered me a space where Swords and Scrolls was born. Matt and Jacob over at the Bronze Age Monsters podcast have given me advice. Their excitement and encouragement I did not see coming. My brother-in-law Marty, he designed the cover art. You can go see his work over at Spaghetti Toes. And lastly, my spiritual brother, soul brother, John, he helped me with a lot of technical fiddly bits to get this podcast out there to you people. Go find more of his work over at johnbunger.com. Many thanks, Dog Brothers. Also, the theme music is by Knoll, Gnoll. They are courtesy of Heimat der Katastrophe. All rights are reserved. You can check them out on Bandcamp. I should have links for all this crap in the notes. So prepare yourselves. There's much ahead of us. In the meantime, you can find us over on Instagram at Swords and Scrolls Pod, where I will post what each episode will be about before it hits, giving you time to read along or not. We are kicking things off by reading Thongor, Warrior of Lost Lemuria, starting with Creatures on the Loose. Issues 22 and 23 will be the first episode's discussion. Hope to see you there. Until next time, in the words of Queen Calanthe, Lioness of Sintra, keep your sword close and keep moving.